morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Lots going on. How's it going, man?
Draw yesterday, and it really shouldn't have been. They scored their third goal, and they got taken away. So for whatever reason, the refs still think it's the World Cup, and they got to give all the calls to Messi. It was, I was letting everybody know. I'm like, that's no bueno. But it was.
Yeah, I can't say the same about the Mariners. They might be the hottest trash as of late, but it was funny. Obviously, 2 nights ago they lose 22-0, which is brutal. And then I heard a interesting stat about it that I was not aware of. I did know that was the worst shutout loss that the Mariners have had in franchise history. What I didn't realize is that was the worst shutout loss since 1888.
Oh, wow.
So there's a fair amount of baseball that's happened since then. And so look at the Mariners trying to set some records, not ones you want. So then you go into last night's game. It's been a minute.
That is a minute.
So they go into last night's game, and I was joking around that I was like, well, they're not going to lose by 22 again, but I was like, they might lose by 10. And I think it was like the 4th or 5th inning. They're down 7-0. I was like, man, I really didn't want to be right. And they end up coming back to make it at least look like it was competitive, losing 7-5. But yeah, there was a minute it was 7-0, and I'm just like, man, come on. So anyway, it's a short Mariners segment. They continue to lose. They're going to be out of the conversation real quick. From hope to nope, coming through. So here we go.
And here we go. And on the opposite side, the Phillies are the hottest team in baseball.
Yep.
6 straight. Literally, I actually was surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be, because truth of the matter is that they were going up against Alcantara yesterday, and for whatever reason they beat him. They win against him. He's one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball. He plays on a team that stinks out loud, and he's for whatever reason he's really good at but just cannot beat the Phillies. And here it is. We won 6 straight now. And that they have the night off, which is definitely the kiss of death, which means they won't make it to 7 straight. It's for whatever reason, the Phillies, after a day off, just cannot seem to get their bats working the way that I would like them to. Aaron Nola has turned it around a little bit, which I thought that he would. I see that he is pitching much better now. He is starting now to get those calls a little bit. And they are still calling the corners and outside. Batters, it seems like right now, are a little more, for whatever reason, at this time of the season, they're a little more apprehensive to tap the helmet early in.
Well, it's because you only get the 2, right? So if you guess wrong, then you end up messing up the rest of your, it's like using your challenges in football right away. Like, right. Then if something egregious happens that's called the wrong way, you're just SOL. And so, that's, I get not wanting to tap early because you don't want to end up not having any later in the game when you have something that could dramatically affect the game.
Well, and that's exactly it. So he's getting those calls in the first 5 innings, where in the beginning of the season, I think they were testing it to see how well it worked. Now, in the middle of the season, now in the dog days of summer, it's regulated itself. So now it's rare that you are going to see somebody, unless they think it's very egregious, And there's certain people that call it a lot more than everybody else. Like Harper is always tapping his helmet and being wrong.
See, that's the problem. If you're wrong, then that's where your coaching staff needs
Well,
to be like,
I bet you he probably hits it at about 60%. So he's 60% of the time he's right.
oh, I mean,
But
that's not terrible.
it's the 40% of the time that he's wrong. The ball is like dead strike. You know what I mean? It's not like
it's not even close.
Like, well, it's not that it's not close. It's just it's like right there in the square.
No. I mean, it's not close as far as you should have challenged. Like it's
right.
You're looking at it like, man, you just didn't see the ball.
Well, and you know what though? But I do notice that it's always when it's high. So he feels that he makes.
So he thinks his batting, a strike zone, I should say, is shorter than it is.
A little bit.
I got you.
So, but it's always, like I said, that's where he's getting the 40%. On his low calls, he's usually right. And if he's wrong by the, hey, it's just barely, touched.
Yeah, so, it's literally just the threads.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, you can't really argue him in that regards. But like I said, it's interesting that you're watching players now not do this early. They want to save those calls for the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and it's helping Nola out again.
I wonder if that is something that's going to change, if they're going to increase the number of challenges, because we've seen some of these, like the video I put up the other day where that guy missed 20 pitches during that game. For both teams, and his strike zone was off in the same spot for everybody. So I wasn't even mad at it being wrong, but at the same time, it was wrong. Right. So, do I think there is room for there to be like a third challenge or something? Yeah, absolutely. Just to make that first one less of a daunting, like, oh man, now we only have one left for the rest of the game. Right. It's easier to eat one if you still have two.
That's what there's a piece of me that, so I go back and forth with this one, and I mean, it's like by giving them that third one,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I feel like that if you give them the third one, why not just make it all balls and strikes so that nobody calls? It's
well, I mean, if you're doing that, then you just robocall it. Right. Like you don't even mess around with the yeah.
It's that that the umpire himself will just be, it's like, all right, we're waiting for the screen to show up. They'd have to be a little bit faster with it. It's like, hey, they're doing the challenge. Okay, you have the challenge and it shows up. So you have to be much faster with it. But I don't know. So I it's hard to say here. Because the other part of this is that they have the challenge for on the field too.
Yeah. The coaches challenge. You
have the coaches challenge, and then you have the plate challenge. And do you make them all one? It's like where, hey, it's like, okay, you have 3 challenges in total. You could have a coach's challenge or plate challenges, and you could use your coaches as a plate challenge if you want.
I guess, like, how many coaches challenges are there? I guess I've never really.
You get one, and then if you get it right,
you get another one.
You get it again.
I gotcha.
But you only can get 2.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I never really paid attention to how many of those you got.
And ultimately, my thought is that if you were to make it all one and saying that you have 3,
mm-hmm.
and you could use all 3 for coaches challenges if you wanted to, or you could use all 3 for plate challenges, or you could do a mixture of however you'd want to. But that's that. End of story. You get 3 challenges all day, all game.
Sure.
I don't know. I think that makes sense to me. You know, and I think you'd get
and a fan challenge. Yes. That
hey,
would
that's
be
Banana
hilarious,
Ball.
actually.
That's Banana Ball.
Yeah,
Banana Ball does that. They do the
that's
fan
right.
challenge.
And you can create an out as a fan if you catch it. So, you know,
Right.
that's kind of hilarious, actually.
So I guess I look at it in however, you know, way. I'm not sure on how that would be. It's like I don't make the rules well enough, and I feel like that any decision in any way, either way, is destroying the game some. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
So
Of course. Yeah.
it's
I mean, we're a long ways away from what baseball was. So now it doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter because they're not going to play it next year anyway.
well, you know, it was funny. I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, and you know, February and March, like the latter part of February and March, Arizona. I was hoping Jason was going to be on here today,
Yeah.
because I wanted to discuss. All right, good enough. Good. My phone started ringing. I don't know.
I was like, what happened there?
What is going to happen to the communities that have, like, that's a good portion of their income comes during spring training. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, like Clearwater Beach is going to be Clearwater Beach, and people are going to still go to Clearwater Beach, and it's not going to matter.
Sure.
But there's a whole bunch of other places that are going to be very affected by no spring training. And there's going to be a good amount of places in Arizona that also fall into that category.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And where I was talking to, the person I was talking to also is in a situation where she is not working. Like, she was let go from a job about a year ago.
Okay.
And it was a government job. She was a pencil pusher, for lack of a better term. And I was saying, listen, you should right now. I says, this is one of these situations where you could put in a lot of work for nothing, because you never know how anything's going to turn out.
True.
But you get a hold of a lot of golf courses and a lot of offshore fishing vessels, and you start to make specials to get people down there during no baseball.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That could turn into a business that you could work. You got to work on now, get all of these agreements in place, but ultimately you are like, so you're, I mean, and it's a lot of work. You're getting your agreements with hotels, agreements with golf courses, agreements with fishing vessels. You know what I mean? Other different things that you want people to try to do when they normally come down to watch baseball, and then fill that time where they're not watching baseball with something else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially because a lot of people are still going to want to go down even without baseball, just because you're living in places like Seattle where it's going to be raining and terrible weather, or, you know, you're still on the East Coast where snow is very real. So, you know, so it's not like people aren't going to still go to Arizona. They may not go to the same town.
Well, I think that you wind up losing. All right, I'm going to say that this is age dependent.
Okay.
You may not go down to spring training. Not that you did, but I would go down to spring training.
Yeah.
I am not of the age where I need to migrate south for the winter. You know, so, and I feel that that's an age thing, that if I was like 65, I would be more apt to want to go. And that's what.
So I agree with that to some degree. But like, I generally go down to, I'm not going this year, but generally go down to Mexico right around Thanksgiving, because toward Seattle, November, which is generally, 41 degrees and raining and dark. And, it's great that the Bible talks about 40 days and 40 nights of rain. Well, you know what happens every winter here in Seattle? That. So, we're just like, hey, let's go down to Mexico and hang out with some friends and enjoy the holiday, so to speak, somewhere where it's 82 and awesome. And so we're not old by any means, but after a while, gray and rain, and you're just like, some sun would be cool.
I mean, didn't Guns N' Roses sing about that from Seattle? The cold November rain.
Yeah, that's right. November rain. That's I don't think it was actually about here, but it could have been.
Right, exactly. It all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. So, but I think that there's going to be opportunity like that.
Sure.
What I'm getting at is that there are going to be less people that would typically go down for spring training that won't go down for spring training now. And that is going to challenge certain communities.
Oh, no question. No question. Yeah. I mean, especially if you're going down for spring training, because there's no reason to go to those particular areas of Arizona. If you were going to Florida, you could still go to those same areas. It wouldn't matter.
So also, and I gotta bring this up because I know I've been talking about it and mentioning it and thinking that I maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. The Dodgers are in trouble. They are in trouble, financial trouble, real financial trouble. They played this game. I was not wrong. I was dead on. I said that I thought that that they are playing a game and they're playing it so funny that it's not going to matter, and these players are going to wind up getting beat for the money, and they are going to get beat for the money. So the owner of the Dodgers, there's a few things that are going on here that are very interesting. The owner of the Dodgers also owns the television station that's going on here, and they got that payment, that 25-year payment, all up front. They didn't get it over time because he needed them use that money to try to pay off other bills. Well, the problem is
it sounds like he also controls some insurance companies that
that's the problem,
funneled money from. And so it's funny because we were talking about it before as, financial trouble, they might run out of money. Whereas now we're talking about the DOJ and SEC taking a look at the Dodgers as fraud. So,
man. and not only that, so there was, amongst all of the other stuff that was thrown into some of these contracts that we don't ever hear about. Like there's a lot of things that are thrown into baseball contracts. Thank you, Scott Boras, for being that guy who needs to put in every little clause. And you don't hear about these clauses because they don't want to release this because it would make a mess. Scott Boras has now created a mess for baseball in general because he's like, the player gets everything and the team has nothing. So there's a clause in Shohei Ohtani's contract that says if he is not, if the owner of the Dodgers is not the owner of the Dodgers, he can opt out. So
interesting.
The owner of the Dodgers, in the midst of what's going on right now, the Dodgers, nobody knows this, but the Dodgers have changed ownership. And they're being very, very quiet about this.
Interesting.
But it went from a person to now an entity.
Okay.
And
which makes sense because if you have the DOJ looking at you, you want to protect yourself.
So now Shohei Ohtani can opt out of his contract.
Interesting.
And so there's a thought process that says that the Mets and the owner of the Mets, who who has made $40 billion this year already so far.
Yeah.
Was going to say, hey, listen, I don't care what you want on your contract. I'll pay you $1 billion to come to the Mets. The largest contract, we could defer it. We could pay you on time. We could do whatever you want to do. You write the contracts. We will do whatever.
Except it's the Mets. So then he would get hurt and never play baseball again.
or they still would stink. It wouldn't matter. It'd be like it would almost be like he's on the Angels.
Exactly.
I mean? So I'm not concerned about that even a little bit. And also Shohei Ohtani does nothing against the Phillies. He hits a home run one every 27 at bats. He hits one every 4 at bats against everybody else. Against us, he does not do very well. So I'm not concerned about it in that regards. But it is very interesting to me. And I was watching different videos talking about this and how that Los Angeles Sportsnet and those insurance companies and the Dodgers are all in some real trouble. And it's all going to come out in November.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that pop in my feed, I want to say it was 2 days ago now. And I think it was from, I think the article was from the Wall Street Journal. But as soon as I saw DOJ, SEC, Dodgers, is like, oh, here we go.
Yes.
Let me get some marshmallows. We're
where's the popcorn?
Right?
I'm ready.
Exactly. We are roasting these things up. So yeah, no, it'll be exactly. More crookedness all the time. Welcome to the Dodgers. So
well, what though? But let's face this. This is part of the conversation that we had 2 days ago. That just because you own a professional franchise does not mean that you deserve to make money. And that is a real statement. Nobody deserves to make money just because you own a business. You have to work really hard. And listen, not that they don't work hard over there. They are doing everything they can. They are stretching every rule over there in LA.
Which I'm not mad at. Exploit the rules, right? Wherever there's little gaps that you can take advantage of, do it, right? It is that old adage, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I mean, if you're out and out cheating, you should get in trouble. But if you're playing in the gray area for, they just didn't complete the rule enough, hey, that's on them.
The problem is that stay in the gray area, don't cross over into the red. That's the question there. And that's what the Dodgers have done. The Dodgers are borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and they are listen, when we're talking about billions of dollars, that's not real money. It's not real.
But not to us.
Not like listen, if somebody gave me $1 billion, it would have to be in $100 bills because I wouldn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? $1 billion isn't real.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, let me get my forklift so I can move this around.
Right. That's the problem here. That money isn't real. So you could say, oh, I got liquid here. I got liquid here. He said he made a deal and gave one of his companies $8 million for another company, took it out of that company and then used it for other companies.
Sure.
So that's the problem. That's why the SEC's in here and going.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's not real. It's not real.
It's a ball in the cup, right? Like it's just spinning around. You're trying to figure out where the money went.
Yeah. It's like, all these guys that like Warren Buffett and all these people, like any Democrat that ran for president over the last 25 years, they all have this. It's like, hey, I need $1,000. I need $1 million.
Take $1 billion in pennies.
I need $1 billion. You know what I mean? It's like that's kind of what it is. It's literally
Yeah.
It's
Keith?
all air. It's all
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wish the Dodgers well.
Right. Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for sure. With the Dodgers, with baseball in general, going to be an interesting off season, to say the least. Are the Dodgers going to go win another ring? Probably. Are they absolutely cooked afterwards? It's starting to look like it.
So, yeah, I am very excited, and I hope that the Dodgers get everything that's coming to them early.
Like tomorrow. All of a sudden you see the owner in bracelets getting in a cop car.
But Jeffrey,
yes.
To answer your question, no. That the only people that are talking about that is the media.
Yep.
Listen, the NFL is realizing that, especially, for instance, the Philadelphia, New England joint practices has been a bevy of content for everybody. AJ Brown, the whole AJ Brown situation, the amount of Philadelphia Eagles fans who went up to New England, who were granted access to these practices, they are learning that this is spring training.
Yes.
And they are going to start to monetize that. And they don't care. Listen, there's fights in preseason anyways. You're fighting with your own team. You're fighting with the other team. It doesn't matter. So no, they are not going to do that. They are trying to figure out right now how to monetize it better.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's fights in camp no matter what. So whether they were joint practices or just with your own team, like there's fights every year because again, there's an incredible amount of urgency with the guys that are trying for roster spots because 40 of your spots are locked in, they're taken. And so you got another 40 guys trying to get those last, 8 to 12 spots. And usually it's a veteran guy that doesn't like how one of these guys trying to make the team hit him. And then it gets, it becomes a dust up and most of them move on. Sometimes it goes a little too far, but generally it's really not that big of a deal. The one that's getting some press was the one that happened, I think, yesterday with the Saints and the Cowboys. And there was another one with the Ravens and the Vikings. But again, it happens in every camp, whether you were doing joint practices or not. There's fights all the time because you just got a lot of guys trying for, very limited spots.
Yeah. And that's not going to stop.
No,
it's, that's just what it's going to be. So,
and I think Seattle has a joint practice with the Titans tomorrow. So,
I mean, even when I was up there to go to the Mariners, we watched the practice, and they had everybody in the stadium, and there was about 5 fights.
Yes,
and so much so that I said to Bo, I'm like, you guys have a problem. Like you guys can't keep anything. Yeah, it's
but it wasn't a problem. Like we still had a good season,
right?
So.
I mean, we won the Super Bowl, so it was better for us that year. But
for sure.
But ultimately, it was. And what happened is that they got rid of a lot of the people that were causing some of the problems.
DK was one of them. He was a main contributor at one of those fights. So
2 of them, actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2 basically back to back. Yeah. And then now he's causing problems in another city. So that works out.
So it's just so yeah, like I said, I think that they are like On Location is trying to figure this out now. That's what's going on. You are they're going to create VIP packages. And I'm surprised, it's been interesting. I've been in a lot of different places. On Location is everywhere, actually. I didn't realize you only look at it really for football, but it's not the case. I've seen On Location with the UFC. I saw them at the Field of Dreams.
Okay.
I've seen them at football games and such. It's like I didn't realize On Location was a lot more diverse than just football. Because I know that's Roger's, baby kind of. But it also makes sense. It's like, hey, why not get in bed? Well, if you could give somebody a VIP experience, hey, listen, if they're going to pay a lot of money to get up on stage and take a picture right where Dana White was standing 15 minutes ago, yes, I want to do that. Why not? Yeah. If I get the opportunity to meet some of the fighters just because I paid a lot of money, yes, I want to do that. So, good for them.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you can find a little niche for a cash grab, do it.
Exactly. And everybody's making money because that's how that works. So,
yep. Absolutely. Speaking of making money, normally this is where I'd plug our Bet Us, but today, because we do have football happening later today, I also have a meeting with Angel of the Winds Casino. So that'll be right after the show. I lock this thing down. I drive up to the casino and meet with their sportsbook team. So I might be doing my pick'em show from their sportsbook. So
nice.
Yeah, it should be fun.
And I have a deal with Navig right now, which is a Kalshi poly market style, but they only do sports. They do not do anything. You can't bet on the weather. You can't bet on politics. You can't bet on whether I'm going to show up or Jason's going to show up on the show today or not. That's not available. You can only bet sports. And I've learned that I'm learning a little bit more about these unique situations. It's, it's like, I'm like, oh, it's not as simple. Like if I have you do a one-off bet and somebody wants to buy that bet, that's a different scenario. But if you have a parlay, somebody's got to want that same parlay to be able to buy it from you if you want to try to sell it at some point. And that's where I learned, it was like, oh, I got it now. The truth of the matter is that I would have been better off depositing a few $100s and then betting on the other side of it and where I would have had to win. That's what I needed to do.
Yeah, hedge the bet. Yeah,
hedge the bet rather than try to sell the bet. And so, which is also legal. You're allowed to do that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You can bet both sides of every bet if you want. It's not a good way to make money, but you can do it.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's good if you have.
It works if it's long shots. If long shots win, then you're fine.
So, and like with the parlay, when I had my long shot win, when the Philly guy won and he was a plus 900, and ultimately then the girl won who, I said that fight was very underwhelming. I should have then put in $500 on the other side. So I either lose that $500, or I win $1,000, so win $475 because I lose $25 parlay, but win the $500, or I go the opposite way. But then at that point, it was also a minus 300. So it's like you got to.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like if you were to hedge every bet, it's a tough way to make money. Right. Unless it's one of those random weeks where a lot of long shots win. But,
yes,
you know, that usually happens like once a season, maybe twice. And then other than that, a lot of your favorites end up winning. Donna, if you're watching college, probably the one that's going to be the most interesting to watch is what happens with LSU now that Lane Kiffin's there. Do they elevate? Do they implode? There was a lot of hate about him moving the way he moved. So LSU should be reality TV this season.
Now, LSU across the board has been having some very interesting, like Jaden Daniels with LSU, and like it's so, I wasn't sure what they were talking about when they were saying there was a meme going around that says Jaden Daniels has said nobody's to give him a high five because we got to play respect to the number 5.
I love
it's all going to be fist pounds from here.
I love that, like, sports teams in other leagues are trolling him at this point. Like it is hilarious how many people are getting on board with, like, oh, well, we just got to get rid of the number 5 altogether. Like, it's just like, oh man.
And you know what really gets me is that not only is it a distraction from everything that's going on, but you make yourself look like a fool.
Yes.
Like you make yourself look like somebody didn't say, hey, listen, dude, that's not a good idea. Well, you don't have anybody on your team doing that.
The speculation is that his mom is what triggered this anyway, because he has that type of relationship with his mom. But at the same time, so he's trying to force this deal of you can't use my, name, image, likeness. But they didn't retire his number. So it's not like he can keep them from retiring the number, just like they haven't retired Joe Burrow's. And I mean, let's be honest, Burrow won a national championship. So if there was one of the two that had a better chance of being retired, it would have been Burrow. So, it's just a bad look all around. And then why would you want that anyway? Right. Because now you're taking your posters down. Like they're getting rid of you being relevant at LSU. Like if anything, this is counterproductive. So
and not only that, you should be worried about what you're about to do this season in the NFL.
Exactly.
That this is all bleh. That's all nothing. Why are you even bothering? But I'm all for it because we play it twice a year, and that just tells me if you're going to be focused on what who's going to be wearing your number down in LSU, you're not focused on the playbook, and that's all I care about.
Hey, that just falls into the thing I talk about all the time. You have a noisy off season. It is a problem for the season, and way to create an issue out of nothing. Like there's no reason. I mean, what are you actually gaining out of doing this? Nothing, right? If nothing else, you're getting people that did like you to not like you.
And I'm all for it, because the truth of the matter is that I don't think you're that great of a quarterback, and you should be more concerned, and like I said, and the fact that mom did this, that mom put you
that's speculatory. We don't know for sure, but based on what we've watched in the past, it's easy to get to that conclusion. Again, this is just speculation. Allegedly, don't sue the show. All of that. Because lawsuits are up
you ain't getting no money anyways. There ain't no money in this show, so
true. But at the same time,
we ain't Pat McAfee.
They like to send legal papers places. Let's just try to avoid it on our show.
You find the address to send us some legal papers.
Right. And of course, outside of LSU, just look at the top 25. Really outside of the top 30 schools, you don't need to pay that close attention unless somebody just really starts popping off at a lower school. Generally, the top 25 is the ones you're going to want to watch because they're the ones that actually play good football. Once you get down into those lower tier D1s, it's generally pretty ugly. Like if you're watching Temple or Tulane, you're basically just going to watch them get boat raced every week, and it's not really that fun.
I have a legal pad somewhere too, so I can get myself legal papers myself. It's like, yeah, it's a legal pad, yay! I had a buddy of mine who sent me a video or like a message the other day, and he's like making a big announcement on what college team he's going to start rooting for, and I'm like,
oh, that's weird.
That not only is that weird, so I said to him some options. I'm like, Oxford, the University of North Korea, great colleges, great universities. Those are definitely ones I would root for. I mean, like, what are we talking about? You just because you don't have I don't have a college allegiance. You know, I was at the UFC fight. Yeah. I met the center, the starting center for the Temple Owls. Now, he could have chose anywhere. He chose Temple, and I love saying that because that's one of their advertisements. He asked me if I'm going to attend any one of their games. And
see, now you have to because you got called out.
The answer is
you got to go to one. Got to go to one.
Well, the problem is that, okay, I'll go to one game, and it would have to be a game that you're not playing a Pennsylvania team. Like, don't play Pittsburgh. Don't be playing Penn State. I would love to go see the Fighting Irish, but going there and trying to, why hope that you beat them? It's not happening. You're not going to beat them. So probably I don't want to be around a bunch of, fans of that because I hate Notre Dame. I do not like. I don't have any love for any college team, but I do have some hate. And I would say that I hate Michigan, I hate Ohio State, and I hate Notre Dame. Those are the three mains that I hate. And I just hate them because, first off, I'm not a fan of any of the coaches that coach Ohio State. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, I feel like they get favoritism in the polls. Same thing with Michigan.
And yes, the campus is supposed to be absolutely amazing.
It has nothing. No offense to anybody who goes there or the school. I got to imagine that the people that enjoy it are touchdown Jesus. But you know what? I'm Italian, and back in the old day, Italians would fight the Irish. The Italians became the mafia. The Irish became the police, and that's how it worked. Yeah, so we are always against each other.
I mean, that's why they're the Fighting Irish.
That's exactly it. So
that's literally their mascot.
That's kind of the funny thing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just not. And I'll tell you, when I say that I hate them, I'm rooting for them to lose. I'm not really. Yeah. I don't really have.
It's not actual
the
hate.
Disdain. Yeah, like they're not the Cowboys to me. They're not the Penguins. I don't really spend a lot of time in college. I just don't like how they get the favoritism. That's what I have against them. That they get favoritism in polls and in money and things like that because of who they are, not because of the fact that they're any good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I'm a fan of Boise State because they have a blue field.
They do have a blue field, which is wild. And then Eastern Washington has a red one. So
that's weird.
The Eagles. Yeah. It's funny though, because nobody's allowed to have a colored field moving forward. So if you have one, you can keep it, but no one else gets to have one moving forward.
Well, see, but you could change that. And the reason how you could, the way that you could do that is you could paint your field whatever color you want. So the grass can be green, but if you're making the paint colors, and going just choosing to paint the entire field, you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a limitation on how much you can paint because before you could have whatever color field you wanted, it didn't matter, and then they changed that about 15 years ago now. That the ones that have it can keep it, and the ones if you didn't have it before, sorry about your luck.
I mean, I get that. I mean, it's like because ultimately they're trying to do everything they can to create grass fields from here on out.
Well, they also don't want you to have that home field advantage that Boise State has, that when they're in their blue uniforms on their blue field, it in real time is hard to see where people are. So, you know, I get what they're doing. Exactly. They're distracting.
The red uniforms on a field or like I figure it's like an all burnish color because you're not going to have bright red. It's not like
it's kind of a
cherry.
brick. It's kind of a brick red.
That means that when the football falls on the ground, it's hard to see.
Yeah, no. Like it's like Wen's comment. It's distracting. It is distracting.
It's like watching one of those basketball games where when they're playing for the Emirates Cup.
Oh, all the stuff painted on the floor.
Yeah, where they have the whole floor looking a lot different. It's like, that's really annoying. I can't see well.
And Donna, they do really support their team. They just happen to not be a great team in comparison to Alabama and Ohio State and Michigan and, you know, the top teams. They just get way more talent than Temple does. It's not anything bad about Temple. They don't have the program that Miami and like Texas A&M and the Longhorns, they just don't have the draw that those schools do.
And that's part of the problem, because anytime somebody actually does well at Temple, they immediately get stolen. You know, any coach gets stolen.
Especially now.
You know, it's like Bruce Arians. Arians, who runs now the entire Tampa Bay Buccaneer organization and has won 2 Super Bowls with them, one as a coach, one as a general manager, you know, or president, whatever he is, brought Temple to a bowl game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was one of his first coaching jobs.
I mean, so getting to a bowl game doesn't mean a ton. Because you're bowl game eligible with 6 wins. That's why there's 500 bowl games.
Not Temple, though. Temple at 6 wins is not getting a bowl game. Like it's
well, they're eligible.
You know, they're eligible, but they ain't getting one. You know what I mean? You have to have they have to be in the mix of the top 40 teams. You know what I mean? So you used to be able to be thought of, because nobody really thinks of it.
You used to, but now with so many schools that opt out, we actually had a 5-win team in a bowl game last year. So
yes, I remember that,
which is ridiculous.
And they won that bowl game. Actually,
they did.
Beat like a 9-win team because nobody on the 9-win team decided to wanted to play. They're like, why am I playing this game against a 5-win team? It's not going to do me any good. What do I need a highlight from this? You know, so the truth of the matter is that, and I understand why they won't, is because there's money involved and all these rights and advertisers and stuff like that. But listen, have the bowl games before Christmas. Like, don't have it on the day of Army Navy, but have them between Army Navy and Christmas. And then let's have the playoffs. And that's that.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is at least the playoffs have incorporated a lot of the bowl games. So a lot of the bowl games are the different stages of the playoffs, which is nice, because the bowl game count has been insane for forever, right? Like there's so many bowl games that, like, when you hear the name of one, you're like, that sounds fake, and it's real. And I mean, you know, the fact that you have things like the Pop-Tarts Bowl and stuff like that, where you have literally a Pop-Tart running around the field, is like, what are we doing?
Right.
So
I don't get it, you know, but I mean, I understand. Let's have the, you know, I can't believe it's not Butter Bowl. You know what I mean? Like
the thing is as ridiculous as that sounds, it might exist. We wouldn't know. Like if you were doing trivia and you're like, is this a bowl game? You'd look at it and be like, I mean, it could be. Like,
so. Yeah, I mean, I liked it when they had the Hawaii Bowl. You know, like, hey,
yeah,
a team is going to go out there and get to play against Hawaii because Hawaii won 7 games and they're having their own bowl game. And you're going to get a week in Hawaii to go play. Like, I'm game for that. Yes, let's do that. Let's go have the Cancun Bowl, you know, where, hey, we are all going to go to Cancun and play football in a stadium down there. And
the Dallas Cowboys will host it because they're never busy in the postseason anyway. Sorry, Joe.
Listen, you're calling it the Mafia Bowl, but the truth of the matter is that if Rome had used one of their stadiums to play a football game, like and have a college bowl game over there, that would be worth it. Now, the problem is that how many people from those colleges are going to actually be able to afford to go over there, and that's where this comes. They
Yep, Cowboys catching a stray. My bad.
They're always catching strays.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Less even before the national championship, playoff thing came together, I thought there should be less bowl games. Like it just didn't.
I agree.
There's just so many, and then there became even more before the playoff system really started going. There have been some that have started going away. The Huskies were in one last year. That was the last year of it. I forget the name of it offhand, but so
like the Bowl, the
that?
Tostitos Bowl. You know what I mean? It was the Outback Bowl.
So most of those are still around. The one that they played in this last year had only been around for about 5 or 6 years, and that was the last year of it. So I mean, there are some bowl games that were less popular that are starting to go away. But yeah, there's still an insane amount of bowl games.
I liked it when they just had fruits. It was like a cotton, things that grew out of the ground. The orange, the peach, the
Rose Bowl. Yep.
You know what I mean? It's those were the times. That was the great stuff. Like make it grow out of the ground and like the Apple Bowl. There was never an Apple Bowl.
No, so that one that carried a similar name was the Apple Cup, and that was the crosstown rivalry between the Washington Huskies and the Cougars.
Yeah, but they like, for instance, Michigan versus Minnesota is the brown jug game.
Yeah,
they play for a brown jug, and Michigan keeps that brown jug most of the time. Although I remember the time that Minnesota won it because they ran over to Michigan's sideline and grabbed that jug.
Yeah.
Right. So there's games like that all the time. I gotta remember Michigan plays, I think 3 or 4 of them. Like Michigan versus Michigan State is for like a I don't know, something that looks like the UP, the Upper Peninsula or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean there was always those crosstown rivalries, as you would call it. A lot of those have kind of gone away though, with the realignment of teams going to different conferences, and we actually opened the season against Wazoo this year, so that just seems like a bizarre. Like you were always used to the Apple Cup being the last game of the season. Last year it was kind of in the middle of the season. This year it starts the season, and after 2030. We actually don't have a guaranteed game against Wazoo. So I imagine there's going to start being seasons where you don't see that because the conference they're in is so big now. You don't need out-of-conference games.
Right.
So sadly, there's a lot of tradition in college football that's going away. It's pro sports now. Like it is what it is. With the way that players are getting paid and the way that coaches can get fired any minute, it's professional sports.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's all about the money, really. But let's just
Yep.
face it. It's money, 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 and anything else is really secondary. So,
Yep. There was one topic that we're not going to spend much time on now that we're almost out of time. But is the Lions Super Bowl window closing, or do they still have some time? I mean, their
I would
division
say this is a good topic to start again tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I am surprised at how much love the Lions are getting.
They are getting a lot, but that
national.
division's tough.
Yeah, through national, like that, they are slated to be back in the number one spot. That they feel that, all right, you lost your offensive coordinator to become the head coach of the Bears, and he took over that now that dust is settled, and that they are going to be able to elevate their play to beat the Bears. I don't know that that's the case.
Yeah, no, it's why I had it slated for today again, because I thought Jason was going to be here too, so it would have been, it would have been a fun topic. But yeah, we'll I think we'll get into it more tomorrow. Then
see, I guess he's not here because I have to take a quick look. To see how the Diamondbacks are doing, because I got to imagine that may have been the reason why he wasn't here. That the Diamondbacks are like all of a sudden pooping the bed. I mean, they won one, but they're 5 of their last 10. They're not the best team in baseball right now, which is the Phillies.
He's like, "Yep, tapping out."
Before I even get on, I'm not going to allow the Philly guy to get a leg up on me.
Well, especially because he was barbecuing you pretty good last week, so makes sense.
So, yep, I get it. But interestingly enough, we brought it down from 9.5 games to 4.5 games, so we're only 4.5 games back right now. In the
the Braves have struggled a little bit over the last couple of weeks.
The Cubs still strongly hold the number one spot in the wild card. And the Brewers, I mean, hey, as long as they keep playing Seattle, I mean, and winning 22-0.
Man, I bet their point differential. I bet their point differential is amazing.
It's funny. I'm going to just check really quickly to see how they. The Mariners came back and beat them.
What?
They won. Mariners won yesterday.
No, they didn't.
The Mariners won 7-5. Yes, they did.
Oh.
And they're like, no, they didn't.
No, they didn't. That's crazy. Yeah. So that means the little tracker thing was backwards again yesterday.
Yeah.
Because it was showing me that Seattle was down 7-0. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And so Google.
No, they were up 7-0 in the first 2 innings.
Exactly. So Google, fix your tracker because it's been backwards 3 days in a row now.
So, but they won 7-5.
How about that? Look at them getting a win. I didn't even know because I didn't click on it. I was just watching the tracker. I was like, come on. But I guess I should have clicked on it. But since it was backwards the day before when they were down 22-0 and it showed them up 12-0 when I first looked at it. And I was like, wait, what? So Google, fix your tracker. It is misleading and frustrating. Other than that, we do got to get out of here because we're up against it time-wise. If you are watching on any platform, be sure to like and subscribe. And, of course, if you're listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, smooth jazz coming your way. Other than that, we'll see you all tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.